today we have Scarlet back. Super excited about that. And we had previously done a quick latch install, and you can kind of see here where we had drilled the square out on the factory spot for the quick latch install. And you can kind of see here on the bumper where the quick latch goes. We had a customer, while Scarlet was down, come to the shop to get something installed on the, actually this thing was an intercooler, and his tabs were broken. So as opposed to sending him down the road with broken tabs, I think he drove like 5 hours or something like that from West Palm Beach. I took the parts off of Scarlet and put them on his car and ordered replacements for my car. Now our friends at Quick Latch, they've sold quite a few of these now. We've been doing business with them for almost, I think, a little over a year now. And what they've done is they've actually made, do I have that second kit? I do. They've actually made an S550 specific kit now. So it gives you both left and right side quick latches, along with additional spring, isolators, and thread lock. And what you can do now is you can either edit your previous install, which is what we're doing today, or if you have them breaking now and you want them, order the actual S550 kit as opposed to the individual packaging. So what we're doing today is we're upgrading, or updating I guess you could say, Scarlet's old quick latch install with the new quick latch install, which includes those isolators and spacers. Is with the new install, he gave us some really great idea, which was reinstall the factory bracketry. And in the factory solution, this is where those clips that break, this is where they actually clip in. And this is what happens is they break, right? So we're gonna put this back in, but we're going to Dremel out this interior section so that the stud can go through that middle section. And what this will allow us to do is, on our previous install, the bumper would flex left and right, and you'd have to kind of like tap it and push it. This is going to allow the bumper to sit flush up against here and not have that flexibility. So that's why we're making the revision today. All right, so for beginners who have not yet had the hole drilled in their bumper, there's a whole process which we'll go over. But for those who are just updating their quick latch install, you'll already have your hole here. So obviously, for me, part of the install is getting that back in, because we took those parts and put them in the other car. So this just threads in. If you made it nice and tight, it'll just thread in. If it's a little loose, it will push all the way through. Either way is fine, because you do have the nut on the back that's going to secure it. So that nut goes just on the back here, and you can just run it down, and it's like a 22 millimeter or like a 7/8. I just happen to have a 7/8 handy, so we will use that to tighten the old girl. Okay, so that part's easy, easy peasy. For those who have not done this, what we do is we actually install the barb on the car, hang the bumper, you tap the bumper so that there's a little dimple, and you start from that dimple with making your pilot hole for the actual quick latch itself. And then we use what we call the Christmas tree bit, because it looks like an upside down Christmas tree. We use the Christmas tree bit, and it actually runs all the way down, and that's how you make the hole large enough for the quick latch. So anyway, that's a whole other process, but we'll cover that at another time.
You have to cut that tab off, and then we're gonna drill all this out so you can fit the quick latch in there.
OSHA approved vice device being used.
Yeah, send it.
first or the other one?
That one first. Perfect. Yep. Gotta go a little more over. Always wear safety glasses, kids.
Just look above. Careful.
Yes, because all this is blown over.
Swapped.
Yes, please, sir. Oh, it should snap out. Voila.
He's so ready.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so you saw how Zach was able to gut out the center portion here. That's going to allow our stud to protrude from this center hole, which when you remember Zach started, he clipped that piece. All that piece that he clipped off is there's just a locator pin right there, much like these two locator pins, how they go into there. And so now it's just open so that we can get our stud in there. So we're going to put this in first. No, just kidding. Well, you want to put that in first?
Yes, correct.
It won't go in.
Because
Oh, because it's going to
we
be
could
have to
edit
be
this
set
out, yeah. But so because this washer sits on
on top.
Yeah.
And if you do it, it's going to hit it.
Yeah. That's
Got it. Okay. So that's good to note. So first things first is we're going to start with installing the stud. And we did test fit this. And Zach has this pretty well set already. So that is probably one of the more finicky parts of the install, is you have to get the test fitment down and perfect. And then you need to get the washer on the back.
It's also much easier with no tires and rims on.
This is true, but we're lazy. Well, we just came back from some seriously exhausting trip, and we're just not into it today. Now when you test fit it, Zach, it was towards the bottom?
Yes, correct.
That's what I thought.
Pretty much in that hole that you drilled up.
Yep. Okay. As we go. And so There we go. All right, so when you run that in, like I said, from the test fitting, you should be pretty good and pretty confident with your barb height. You're gonna wanna run that down and tighten it. You just saw us tighten it. You can use a ratchet, but realistically, you can strong hand that pretty good on there. You're gonna use some thread locker at the end anyway, so it's really not a big deal. The next step is gonna be installing the factory clip bracket. And these are just the two 8mm bolts that came out of it when you removed them. There she goes. And
let's test it.
There it is on my side. How are you on yours?
Good.
I'll go ahead and clamp it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, get that in place. Okay. So you can see this is much sturdier than it used to be. It still is a little weak here,
If you go look on my card, you can show the unsteadiness.
but it's still much sturdier than it was before. So I like it. We'll go ahead and we'll call that Magnifico from where I sit. Now, the only thing is that we'll pull this back off real quick. Okay, maybe. There it is. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put an isolator down, put a spring on it, then we're gonna put this retainer over top of that barb. And everything's been revised. We've got the hogged out factory bracket. Now we're going to put in a rubber isolator over, and then we're going to put the spring that came in the kit there, and then we're going to use the spring retainer over top of the spring, like so. So now it's much more sturdy. Mine personally has a little bit of wobble here. That's probably because I've ran it for so long without the factory bracket back here, but much sturdier. It's going to be much sturdier driving for sure, and we won't have to be pushing it in and out all the time. So that's it for now. Until next time, stay tuned. Replicate the way it was built on the factory side. So the first thing you're going to do, actually when you get it, you're going to have this retaining clip will be on here. You need